Kent! Stevenson! I insist that you both come out of there at once.
But there's something here that I don't understand. There seems to be... Kent, help me.
It's happened. He's choking. Kent, bring him out here.
I'm trying to.
Here. All right, Stevenson. Here, now just lean on me. Stevenson. Man, what happened?
I looked at Gufraw. He's dead. He's dead.
It's not possible.
The shadow was right.
Yes, gentlemen. Stevenson ignored my warning. This perished. This should convince all of you that there is a ruthless killer masked behind the Kufratep curse.
Margot, what did you learn about Stevenson's death?
Well, Lamont, the doctors officially called it influenza.
What about the blood test?
It was the same as the others. The white corpuscles had been destroyed.
Just as I thought. That proves that Stevenson was murdered, too, and by the same instrument.
But, Lamont, what can that instrument be?
It may be a serum, poison gas, I don't know. More important than the killing device is to find the killer's motive.
You found out something, Lamont?
Not exactly, but I saw a man at the museum about whom I should like to know more.
Who is he?
Aldous Kent, an assistant curator. I'm sure that he has more knowledge of this affair than he allows himself to show.
Why do you suspect him?
For several reasons. His apparent concern for Stevenson's safety was a bit overdone. For a scientist, he was surprisingly naive about the Kufratep curse, and most important, in spite of his outward fear, he followed Stevenson into the tomb. I'd like to know more about that man, Margot. And that's where you can help me.
Yes, Lamont, but how?
By visiting Kent as a newspaper woman. Interview him about his career. Find out whether he's interested in any branch of science other than archaeology. Well, Margot?
I saw Aldous Kent.
Yes?
He hasn't always been an archaeologist. He worked at many things.
For instance?
Well, before he went to work for the museum, he was employed as an assistant by Dr. Faber. You know, the well-known biologist.
Very interesting, Margot. I think that's all I'll have to know.
But, Lamont, does that have any bearing on the murder?
May have everything to do with them. I'll be able to answer that question after the Shadow pays a call on Dr. Faber.
Dr. Faber.
Eh? What? Who's that?
Don't be startled, Dr. Faber.
Who are you?
I am the Shadow.
Are you in this room? I can't see you.
I regret that I must remain in the shadows.
What do you want?
I am seeking information.
Well?
I would like to have you tell me what you know of Aldous Kent.
Kent? Aldous Kent? Well, he worked for me. He was my assistant for several years.
Yes, I know that, Dr. Faber. What kind of a man was he?
Very efficient laboratory man.
Why did he leave your employ?
Well, frankly, because he was dissatisfied. Kent was a very moody man. He felt that his work should be more fully recognized.
What sort of work did he do?
He was active in all the routine laboratory experiments.
Can you recall what some of those experiments were?
Well, let me see. Well, he made some really brilliant contributions to our work with the Röntgen ray. That's the X-ray, of course.
Yes, I know. Exactly what were those experiments?
We were varying the ray to determine its effect on animal life.
What was that effect?
Well, at one stage of the game, it was destructive. We developed a ray that was capable of destroying the white corpuscles in the blood of the laboratory animals.
It's enormously interesting, Doctor. Tell me, does such a ray have the same effect on human beings?
Oh, yes, it probably does.
Thank you, Dr. Faber. You have given me the solution to the mystery of the Kufratep curse.
I feel certain, Margot, that the machine of death is concealed somewhere within Kufratep's tomb.
But why must you go there tonight?
Because I can investigate without danger of interference. There's no time to be lost.
Can't you confront Kent with the information you already have?
No, Kent's a clever man. He might give him time to destroy the evidence. And we could pin nothing on him.
Yes, I see.
If I can uncover the deadly ray and positively identify Kent with it, he can be tricked into capture.
Here's the museum.
You turn in this driveway. It's a precaution now. Switch off the headlights.
Lamont, I hate to have you going into that tomb alone. It's an eerie-looking place.
Nothing will happen to me.
Yes, that's what the others thought.
The others weren't aware of the real danger as I am. Hand me the flashlight, Margot.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Wait, what's that over there among the trees?
Appears to be someone carrying a lantern.
He's approaching the tomb. Lamont, who can it be?
Wait. I think I recognize him. Yes. The old watchman.
Oh. Shall you wait now until he goes?
I'm not sure that he's going. He seems to be entering the tomb.
Lamont, isn't it strange after all that's happened that he should dare to enter there alone?
Very strange, and I'm going to find out why. Won't need this flashlight, Margot.
What are you going to do?
It is the shadow who will enter that tomb for a little
vk3sl.
conversation with the old watchman.
Shall I wait for him?
No. Take the car and return home. Stand by for the shortwave wireless. I may need your help in communicating a message of vital importance.
Good evening, Your Imperial Majesty. I've come again to see that you are resting well. Your work is nearly done. Only one more to gaze into your eyes. And then, then the vengeance is complete.
You have served me well.
Hey, who speaks?
Who indeed would speak within the resting place of the king?
Are you the...
Yes, it is I, Khufratep, Pharaoh of Egypt.
Oh, Your Majesty.
Rise up. You need not kneel in my presence.
Yes, Your Highness.
Do not tremble. You have nothing to fear.
You are not angry?
Angry? Why should I be angry toward one who serves my interests? I have come to reward you.
To reward me?
Yes. But first, I must have an accounting.
Well, what do you mean?
You must tell me how you brought death to the defilers of my tomb by the curse which bears my name.
Oh, the credit is not mine, Your Majesty.
Whose then?
Aldous Kent.
Aldous Kent?
It,
Why should he concern himself with me?
it is not your vengeance alone that he seeks, but his own as well, and mine. Kent is a great man, but no one will recognize him. They keep him slaving in the museum day after day, doing all the real work. Well, some others get the glory, just as they did to me. Now he's evening his score. Hale, Avery, Johnson, Stevenson, all those have paid for their stolen fame. But one more must die. Hawkins. And then Kent will achieve the position that is rightfully his.
Do you know how Kent destroyed those men?
Of course. I helped him, Your Majesty. Yeah, it was clever. So clever. They all scoffed at the legend of your curse, but it was really you who killed them.
I killed them?
Yeah, no one would dream that within your mummy there lies concealed the generator of the ray.
What ray?
The ray that shines from your eyes and destroys all who look upon you.
Show me how this is done.
It's so easy, Your Majesty. Here. Hidden here in the wall is a switch. You see? It is thrown like this. Then whoever approaches the mummy case, as I'm doing, and lifts the lid so, and gazes into your eyes, the gleam of death shines upon them. Oh, what have I done? I didn't mean to look. I couldn't. Save me. Save me.
I cannot save you. Your Your own evil knowledge has destroyed you. But by your death, you have pointed the way to Aldous Kent's undoing. Margot Lane. Calling Margot Lane. Calling Margot Lane. Communicate with Rafferty, the director of the museum, at once. Tell him to arrange the public opening of the tomb tomorrow as planned. Be sure that both Kent and Hawkins will be there. This is important. Margot, tell Rafferty that he must follow my directions implicitly. A man's life is at stake.
Before admitting the public, I have invited you, gentlemen of the press, to gather here to dispel once and for all this nonsense about the legend of the Kufra-Tep curse.
Well, just how do you propose to do that?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Burke, as you know, the tradition is that everyone who looks at the face of the mummy dies.
Sure, I know that.
I know that. Now, this is Mr. Hawkins, gentlemen. He is the sole survivor of the Kufra-Tep expedition.
Yeah, we know Hawkins.
Yeah.
He has volunteered to show you that there is no truth in the stories that your newspapers have played into national prominence.
What's he going to do?
The mummy case will be opened in your presence, and Mr. Hawkins will personally gaze on Kufra-Tep.
Now, this ought to be good.
Are you ready, Mr. Hawkins?
Well,
Very well, you may proceed.
Mr. Rafferty,
Go ahead, Hawkins.
Mr. Rafferty, I can't. I've changed my mind.
What?
What do you know?
But, Mr. Hawkins, do you realize what this means?
Yes, Hawkins, you must go through with it.
I'm afraid not, Kent. I've lost my nerve.
The prestige of the museum is at stake.
Well, you seem to have changed your attitude, Kent.
Well, I disapproved of this plan at the beginning, but as long as you've gone this far, I think you should carry it out.
Well, Kent is right.
Well, I'm sorry, but, well, when I think of the others, what happened to them, and seeing them die, I just can't.
Boys, looks like the show's over. Let's go.
Wait, gentlemen, don't leave. Now, Mr. Hawkins, if I volunteer to look on the mummy's face first, will you follow me?
Well,
That's certainly fair enough, Hawkins.
Very well.
Have I your permission to open the mummy case, Mr. Rafferty?
Yes, you have.
You're very brave, Mr. Kent.
Who's that?
It's the Shadow.
The Shadow? Boy, what a yarn this is going to be. Shadow, why are you here?
I anticipated your performance, Mr. Kent, and I came to see that it was carried out properly.
What do you mean by that?
Before you proceed, I suggest that somebody throw the switch concealed in the carving on the wall.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do know, Mr. Kent. I want your demonstration to duplicate Hale's, Stevenson's, and the others. The switch was thrown then.
This is absurd.
Here it is. I found the switch.
Please turn it on, Mr. Rafferty.
There you are. It's on.
Good. Now you may continue your little performance, Mr. Kent.
This whole thing is ridiculous. I refuse to be made a fool of.
Are you trying to back out,
I
Kent?
will not continue under these conditions.
I thought you wouldn't. You know that to look on the mummy's face when the switch is on would mean death.
That is not true.
But it is. And no one should know better than you. Concealed within that mummy is a murderous ray. That ray is your own conception.
That's a lie. There is no ray.
Then why don't you look on Kufra-Tep now?
Because
Then you shall be forced to do so.
Oh, no.
Rafferty, Hawkins, lead him to the mummy case.
Come on, Ken. I won't. Let go, man. Let go.
Somebody lift the lid of the case.
Let go. I won't look.
Now, Aldous Kent, stare long into the eyes of Kufra-Tep. Do you see the evil light that glows within them? That's what the others saw.
No. I did it. I killed him, I confess. I killed him, but don't make me look.
He's dead.
Then it's true. There is a ray.
Not any longer, gentlemen. I removed the machinery that generated that ray. All that you have just seen was carefully staged to trap Aldous Kent. He is dead. He died of fear. Fear of the thing which he himself created. You have all witnessed the end of the curse of Kufra-Tep. A curse which fell justly on the true desecrator of the tomb.
You have been listening to a dramatized version of one of the many copyrighted stories which appear in the Shadow magazine, now on sale at your local newsstand.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows.
That's amazing. So compelling. I was sitting on the edge of my chair. It's terrifying. I can understand what you mean, Frank. We'll have to have a chat about the shadow tonight. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. This is vk3sl test missions on 160 where I've been shadowed. Riveted to the chair. I love the comment about the shortwave wireless. So to communicate messages of vital importance. Oh yes, we have to get things into perspective. Great stuff. All right then, what we'll do now is play an LP. I've got a Deutsche Grammophon, heavy, one of those heavy LPs from the mid-50s with a flapped cover and very official looking. I found one with a stitched cover. And it's the Bamberg Symphony under Ferdinand Leitner. And we're going to hear a recording of Mendelssohn's Symphony No. 3, Opus 56, his Scottish Symphony. It's a work he began in 1829, I think, after visiting the Holyrood Chapel in Edinburgh, the ruined Holyrood Chapel. And he was completely enchanted by this ruin. And it sort of put him on a journey. So I think the opening theme is sort of directly metaphorical, and then the work sort of takes a course of its own. It's a full symphony, goes for a little while, but we'll have a listen, and it's off a Deutsche Grammophon Gesellschaft LP from the 1950s. Now, do I have everything switched in? I think I do. vk3sl testing.
This is a test transmission from vk3sl.
vk3sl. I'm sorry about that. Well, I was sitting inside listening to it, and suddenly I thought there was another movement on that side. There isn't. We're listening to a recording of Mendelssohn's Scottish Symphony, and I'm feeling good about the SP10. It's working well. Well, we'll hear the second half of the symphony now. Must be quite a wide groove arrangement. Only 2 movements per side. Anyhow, let's continue. vk3sl testing.
This is a test transmission from vk3sl. This is a test transmission from vk3sl.
You have been listening to the Scottish Symphony, Symphony Number 3 in A minor, Opus 56 by Mendelssohn. Work inspired by a trip to the Edinburgh area in 1829. Holyrood Castle, was it? Holyrood Chapel. It's wasn't a part of Edinburgh Castle. Anyhow, it was a notable ruin where it was a chapel where a number of kings and queens got their gongs. And it fell into ruin in the 18th century, and it was a very spectacular ruin. Still there, and you can look it up, and I did have a sneak peek before to see what it looks like now, and it's a National Heritage Site now. But that was the inspiration behind this work of Mendelssohn's. All right, we'll be back again late tonight at 11:30-ish. Yes, 11:30, and then we'll usher Frank in, probably be around about 12:30 after we've got the flywheel in motion, and we'll have a treat for you tonight. Something about Mr. JSB and one of a great passion works. You'll hear more. This is vk3sl, and we are testing, of course, and we look forward to your company later. Cheers for now.
She